amis, welcome back to my channel. It is moi, Dominique Duvernay, aka Creole Lady Marmalade. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. Bienvenue, bienvenidos a mi canal. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all know us curly girls don't know how to act when we finally get our hair straight.
I felt like a Spanish, like a Puerto Rican in this hair. I felt Puerto Rican. Y'all know I loves me some Puerto Rican.
But anywho, so yes, welcome back to my channel. And as you know, this channel focuses on multiculturalism, just in general. So today's video is a reaction to a video called "Are You Asian Enough?" And this video is about a guy who is 1/8 Asian. He has an Asian great-grandmother. So he goes before the delegation of Asians to see if he is fit enough, if he is Asian enough to claim his Asian heritage. So in that delegation, you have a guy who is 100% Asian, and then you have a female who is half Asian, and then you have another one who's a quarter Asian. And those three together are judging whether this guy who has an Asian great-grandparent is Asian enough, or not only is he Asian enough to claim Asian, but how much Asian stuff he's allowed to do as a person who's 1/8 Asian. And the video is so funny, and it hit home for me because I'm in that same ballpark with being Latina. I'm a Louisiana Creole, as anyone who watches has seen any of my videos know. I'm from New Orleans, I'm Creole, but my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, is half Nicaraguan. So I have a great-grandfather who migrated from Nicaragua in the 1940s, I think. So I am 1/8 Latina. So I thought the video was super funny because it's like, well, you know, how Latina can I be? How much can I? But to my defense, I've been speaking Spanish all my life. So I've been like super connected to Latin culture and heritage all my life. So I don't, you know, things like that, I feel like kind of comes into play. I also look Hispanic. I mean, especially with my straight hair right now, but even with my curly hair, you guys Hispanics with curly hair, I look 100% Latina. So because Creole, Louisiana Creole, isn't as widespread of a known thing. Like in New Orleans and Louisiana, it's assumed that I'm Creole. Like people who look like me, they assume we're Creole. But outside of Louisiana, or even a lot of times in Louisiana, but especially outside, the consensus is that I'm Latina. Most people naturally assume that's what I am anyway. So I feel like stuff like that kind of has a hand in how much of a thing you can claim to be. But yeah, so I that's why I felt connected to it, and I thought it was funny because it's like, dang, I'm in that same boat. And you know, for me personally, I feel like anyone who has a parent or a grandparent of whatever particular ethnic group, I feel like that's all you. You have all the freedom to claim it, to be it, to flaunt it, to fully immerse in it, and no one should consider it reaching. If you're a parent or at least a grandparent or something, I feel like you have full license to partake in that thing, and it wouldn't be a reach in any way whatsoever. But I feel like when you get to the great-grandparents, it's a little iffy. For great-grandparents, I feel like it's circumstantial. If you have a great-grandparent who's a particular race or ethnic group, other things kind of come into play and define whether, you know, just how much of that you could really be playing off of and really playing up. And I mean, and at the end of the day, we can all claim whatever we want to claim. You can be 1% of something, and if you want to make that your main identity, that's all on you. But I'm just speaking in terms of how outsiders will perceive you and receive that and respect what you're saying and not consider you reaching or laugh at you. That's what I mean by, to me, I feel like if you claim something that a parent or a grandparent is for the most part, it'll be received. Like it's understandable, it makes sense. When you get to great-grandparents, other factors come into play on how well it'll be received and if it really makes sense to do it or not. Now, beyond great-grandparents, to me, not so much. But yeah, so let's get into this video and see what the Asian delegation has to say about this.
Tribunal of Mixed Asian Heritage will now decide the fate of Mike Trapp,
like that he has his Asian last name. See, I feel like it's little things like that when we're getting in that great-grandparent level, little things like that that can kind of help you teeter or totter in one direction or the other. So clearly this is from his paternal line. Hopefully it's from his paternal line if he still has that Asian last name. And I think that's cool. And also, if you look at him, his phenotype is, I could definitely see the Asian in him. The Asian genes are strong. Just like, I feel like African genes and Asian genes are crazy strong. And to me, I would guess that he was like a quarter Asian, maybe even half. He definitely doesn't just look like a white person. He's one of those people where it's like, he's white, but he ain't white. There's something else going on in there. And it would make sense to find out that he would be like a quarter or an eighth Asian. And I think I've said this before, as much as we like to feel like, I am whatever I say I am and what I identify as and blah, 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 that's cute and fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, race is one of those things that is at least somewhat dictated for you. Despite whatever you want to say you are or claim you are, society will label you and see you as whatever it is that they see you as. So, like I was saying, for him having that Asian phenotype, it would help his argument for him to be like, oh, I'm part Asian, I'm mixed with Asian. For him to wear that, it would help his case. It would make Asians feel more comfortable with him claiming it, because he's not moving through society thriving off complete white privilege, because he does wear his Asian heritage in his phenotype. That plays a part in which you can kind of comfortably be claiming racially or ethnically. So definitely phenotype comes into play. Now, like I said, with a parent or a grandparent, to me, irregardless of phenotype, I don't care if you come out looking purely white. If you have a black parent or a black grandparent, I feel like you are obligated to say you are mixed, to note it, to point it out, and vice versa. If you come out looking 100% black, but you have a white parent or white grandparent, I feel like you should say you're mixed. I just feel like a parent or a grandparent kind of obligates you to acknowledge that ancestry. Now, when we get to great-grandparents, I feel like that's where your phenotype comes into play. And if you don't have the phenotype, then, there's no harm in not claiming it. I don't think it's a sign of you not being proud of your heritage or whatever. It's, if you weren't connected to it, if you didn't know that great-grandparent, if that culture wasn't passed down to you, if you don't wear it in your phenotype, I feel like it's fine to not claim it. But if you do have it in your phenotype, or if the culture was passed down to you, like if there's some sort of connection to it, I also don't feel like it's a reach to claim it. I feel like at the great-grandparent level, you could claim it and it wouldn't be a reach, and you could not claim it and it wouldn't be you being ashamed of your heritage. A great-grandparent level, I feel like, could go either way. But parents and grandparents, to me, I feel like you should claim it. But moving along.
Yes, that's correct. My great-grandfather was Korean.
You see, that looks pretty
darker.
white. Yeah, it's pretty.
It's kind of tan.
tall too.
Okay. They say he's kind of tan. Like, the phenotype makes a difference. They're looking at him and they're like, okay, I can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
Literally, okay, see? It's just...
You are accused of claiming to know the best Korean barbecue joints without explanation and insisting you're an authority on North Korean politics. How do you plead?
Guilty, I guess? Am I not Asian enough to do those things?
You're only an eighth.
Yeah, what is that even?
Certainly your father would be Asian, but your children, 1/16th, that's nothing. That's like half a slice of pizza.
That's not even a snack.
As 1/8, the law of Asian heritage clearly says what you can and can't do. In casual conversation, you may claim to be Asian around those less Asian than you, but around those more Asian than you, you must wait for them to ask you about it.
Okay, thank you.
On formal documents, if there is the option to choose more than one ethnicity, you must tick Asian. If you can only select one, you may check Asian, but we will silently judge you. However, if it is a document requesting diversity-related scholarships, you should not check Asian, but we know that you will.
So they don't want him getting the benefits that come with being a minority or being Asian. They want him to claim it if no benefits are involved. Like, you make sure you let the white man know that you are a minority. You make sure you're proud of that and you let him know. But when it comes to getting these benefits for being a minority, you don't get to claim it then. And that sounds a little familiar to me.
I'm sorry, this is very confusing.
It's perfectly simple.
Can I check the I do not wish to say box?
Yes, but you'll imagine your grandmother looking very disappointed.
Okay, that's fair. Where does the panel stand on accents? Am I Asian enough to do a broken English accent as a joke or for a comedy sketch or something?
No.
How good is it? No. No, you are not Asian enough to do the accent. But you are Asian enough to be offended by it, just don't, make a big deal out of it or anything. You'll embarrass yourself.
You are Asian enough to enjoy Korean restaurants?
Oh, anyone can do that. That's not fair.
Don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
But you may act superior to others in a Korean restaurant because your grandmother made better food.
Okay, thank you.
You are expected to get really excited when you see Randall Park and stuff.
Oh, I would have anyway. I think he's great.
Yeah, that's true.
Good answer.
I love him.
You are Asian enough to really enjoy anime, although, be honest, with your build, may make you look more white.
Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of agree with you there.
You are Asian enough to make your own kimchi without seeming like a twee douchebag, but beware, you are also Asian enough to reinforce stereotypes if you're really good at StarCraft.
Oh, I'm not.
Any questions?
Can I use the 3 Korean phrases I know with Korean waitstaff?
Sure,
No,
I
that's
guess
weird.
so. No. Guys, to be honest, I don't even think I should be up here.
No, you're fine.
Order. Okay, totally deferring to you guys though.
Now we must adjourn so the Black Council can make their decisions.
I'm an 8th Black.
You're black.
That ending though, the person who's one is black, you're black, no discussion, no nothing. That explains the differences in mixed race relations when you're mixed with black versus when you're mixed with other stuff. But yeah, so I think that video is super funny. I think it's cool, especially in the age of people doing ancestry DNAs and finding these, newfound races and ethnicities and their heritage that they didn't know were there, and they're wondering if they can claim it, and they're wanting to embrace it. And so in that age of people finding these things, I think it's funny to see how people of particular ethnic groups would consider, embracing you or not embracing you, or how much they're willing to embrace you. But yeah, I love that video so much. It's so funny to me. It's really nice to see that perspective, because you see biracial people talking all the time. You're kind of starting to see people who are 1/4 of something else kind of start to pop up, especially people that are 1/4 black. But it's very hard. I don't see much about people who are 1/8 of something, and how they navigate that thing. Do they claim it? Do they live it? Do people see it when they look at them? And I'm someone who people see it on me when they look at me. That's their go-to. They don't even ask if I'm part Hispanic. The assumption is just that I'm Hispanic. So for somebody like me, it's why would I not walk in that identity? Why would I not claim it? Why would I not embrace it if it's literally what I wear in my phenotype every day? But yeah, I thought the video was funny. It was interesting, but it was also funny. And I love when things can be delivered through comedy. It's easy to digest that way. Let me know your thoughts on the video and your thoughts on what people should be racially or ethnically identifying with or claiming. Do you think people with a great-grandparent of a particular race should be claiming it? Do you think people, when they find out what they are through DNA tests, if they should start claiming that thing? If they're 1% of something, do they have the right to claim that thing? Just tell me your thoughts on it. Like I say, I'm so interested in mixed race topics in general, and especially with these DNA tests coming out and more people are finding out about their mixed heritage. How much of that should people lean into and claim or not claim? Are they wrong for claiming certain things? Or are they wrong to not claim certain things? Just let me know your thoughts. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, and I want to give a quick shout out to the very first financial supporter of my channel, the very first person to leave me a generous tip. Thank you so much. Crazy JNVA 2 up 2 down 55. Thank you so much for that tip, and thank you so much for all the positive feedback that you give and the very insightful comments. If you too would like to be a part of this channel's growth and continuation, I will leave my Cash App down in the description, and you will definitely be recognized for your generous efforts. Thanks, guys. And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Until next time, au revoir.